A very pleasant good morning to everyone. Right, and thanks again, JPS, for inviting the Heart NSTA Trust. It has become a regular occasion, right, Miss Winsome, Sir Gary, on many occasions, and we are putting training at the front of all we do. We are excited about it. The linesman work has been traditionally a critical component of our distribution transmission system, whether it's in telecom or utilities. All right? And so without any ado, I'm going to go into my presentation. I don't know how much you can see the screen from there, but I just wanted to tap in a little bit of history. And just give recognition to Sir Robert Francis, who in the 1860s first discovered pole, the necessity for pole line work in the telegraph industry, as we know that transmission requires altitude and clearance of signals, whether it's radio waves, microwaves, or any kind of distribution. And we all are familiar with the traditional telegraph system that has those two wires sitting on the thing going all over the place, right? But not long after that, we had Jamaicans who were very creative and innovative. The Leyden brothers in 1893 from Black River in St. Elizabeth. Make a nice St. Elizabeth, no man. That's where I'm from. And they saw the need to generate electricity, and out of that need, after producing, you know, St. Elizabeth is accustomed to producing, right? We produce all the food, and then we have to distribute across. So there was a need for network, and then pole climbing became that solution. So that we ended there, right, with that system. But it wasn't long after, because you know now that everybody are going to try a thing for themselves. The system was not all regularized. So everybody producing a little here, sharing there and all over the place. And JPS came onto the scene, and we started distributing system-wide. But nonetheless, it was 1952 when the Lighting Act came into being and enforced into law that everyone now have to saddle up their behavior and their attitude and the safety practice, and licensure and all those things came on being. I had licensed electricians and had to get certification for connections and so on. So that is why we are where we are today, right? Where are we today? Today, this sector boosts the value of the power distribution network system, values 23.8 billion US dollars and predicted a 96.1 by 2031. And that could escalate. And I'll tell you why when I get into my presentation. So the value of your industry stands tall right across the globe. Right. Safety to properties, cost savings. Sir Gary must appreciate that if your team is not working safely, you're going to feel the bottom line of the company going to get it because the cost. And we talk about cost, we're not talking about resources and materials, we're talking about time. When for a second is money, a lot of money running down. Right? So it's important that the safety practice is consistent across all the stakeholders, whether you climb pole or not. Friendly environment. I mentioned the community feel not safer these days than when I was a child, when a JPS truck pull up, because it's going to be a safe practice. We're not worried again. We don't worry, because we know that you're doing what is right. Right? Enable the increased use of integration of smart technology and automation. You have set that foundation. This is where we are at now. That to implement all the smart technologies that are required, we don't have to go back again and dig up another foundation. Because the safety foundation is there. The system is there to accommodate. It's important that you pay attention to safety when you're doing the training and manifest it as much as possible. Technologies and practices that are current. JPS is there, and you are strengthening, and we are seeing it, and we are feeling it. Right? How do we know? Right? We are seeing things such as smart metering coming to the fore. Right? We are seeing the use in systems out there with smart relays and robotics sooner or later. You don't have to climb for everything. We can send out aerial robots to assess certain things and collect data and so on. So these are changing technologies. The distribution and consumption matrix, companies all over the world are using matrix now to collect data and feed to their customers and making decisions within the external to the company. A simple matrix is like that on the app that you have now that people can monitor their consumption graph and know the peak periods and all of those kind of things. They are able to connect to your network using the app and all of those things. Right? Remote control, right, is very important. You can now use a phone and a tablet to to turn on, turn off things, and you can use central control to turn off, disconnect and reconnect, disconnect lights and so on. And we have some nice program that ties into these things that I will share with you shortly. And of course, we know in the age where we have sensors. Sensors control everything. And codes, right? You go to the bathroom, you have to line up with the sensor as the water don't come to wash your hand. You're there and say, where is it for turn on this thing? You have to line up with the sensor. And that's it. You know, that is how it is. What are the skills required to support you on your quest of development? And Hartrust NSTA, we believe in lifelong learning. It's one of our values. Because we believe that the world will change. We have seen it. And you have to prepare yourself eventually. And so these are some key programs that we offer that we want you to come over to us and continue on that part of development. Get enrolled and get trained and certified because these have no boundaries. These certifications, these occupational areas have no boundaries. Instrumentation is powerful. It was born from JPS in Jamaica. Started at UTEC when JPS came over with the program and they made sure instrumentation was in it because we have to learn to calibrate the instruments because we have to get accurate reading when we carry out activities such as maintenance and service. Fiber optic technology is something that has been with us all this time, but now it is a requirement that we all move to fiber. And if you follow Flow Network, you realize they're changing out everybody now. Everybody who apply for a new connection is getting fiber. And those who are on the old system eventually will come onto the fiber because of the precision in distribution and supply of bandwidth and all of those other services. Right? Optoelectronics. You'd have heard the Prime Minister recently in Parliament call it optoelectronics. What is optoelectronics? It is using photon technology, superimposed electronics, and digitization, right, through LED technology. So all the fancy light that you're seeing is optoelectronics, and it is a $160 billion US industry. That is why all the cars, even trucks now you see with LED daytime running light, because of what optoelectronics bring about. But it was too large to keep within the electrical and electronics industry. So it created by itself. We call them emerging areas. So if you are working on lights, you notice the street lights, you are changing them out to LED, but there's a whole lot behind them. We can control them with remote. And in our programs, we teach you the codes and the programs using different softwares, how you can use your remote to control light and to monitor the light and to determine what levels of illuminance it dissipates at certain time based on your need. So those programs are with us now. Renewable energy, we are there. We are set up on the outside, you can see, and everyone now is getting into renewable energy. Similar to how we started in 1893 with the generation, everybody is trying their own little thing now with renewable energy. And everywhere you go, almost everyone here have some form of renewable energy, sourcing something inside their home, whether it's your perimeter light or your garden light, your alley light, moving from renewable energy sources, right? And JPS integrating more so that it can be more costly for us, the light bills. Is that so? Right, so they are there. And of course, industrial programming such as PLC, SCADA, and PID. You know that PLC is everywhere now. We are now building all our electrical occupational areas are being upgraded to include PLC, right? For automation programming and of course supervisory control and data acquisition system is powerful to the electrical industry and the telecommunications industry to ensure that our competent workers here in Jamaica and the Jamaican workforce can remain here and earn and build livelihood at competitive market rates. So with the foundation skill sets that you have as electricians and pole climbers, with these additional value-added programs and certification under your belt, you are a value to yourself and your organization. And then we have, of course, the traditional industrial electronics and electrical maintenance, electrical installation, and so on. And of course, the powerful one, electrical inspection. And that's the one we love, right? Right. JPS, we have a number of persons who are participating in those programs, and it's tied to becoming a number of things. Whether you want to privatize or you want to use it to strengthen the regulatory components to enhance the work that you do, we offer this program now up to level 5. It raises the standard of performance. It improves efficiency and reliability, improve regulatory compliance, improve marketability of self and company, facilitate currency and transfer of skills, upward mobility, whether it's in the company, lateral or promotion, builds confidence and facilitates matriculation. So if you need to leave and go to a college or a university, it is a part of the matriculation requirement. These technical skills. Because one thing about the occupational standards, the NVQJ speaks, it delineates every unit of performance that you can do on the task, that the employer can see exactly what you were exposed to and that you were deemed competent. There's no questions about it. And so it is very important that we continue to improve training and certification and build your career, build the standards of performance, but most importantly, don't let any competency you develop in the workforce, in your workspace or otherwise, go unrecognized. And that is what happens when you don't have certification. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you.